Yesterday we had a subject about being contented. What do we mean by being contented? The Buddha he often talks about being content with little. What that means is just that, being content with what you have and not allowing the mind to nag, to complain about one situation, regardless of what it is. There was once a monk who went to see the Buddha and asked him permission to go back to his home country, which was Afghanistan, what is now Afghanistan, with the aim of going and helping the people there, teaching the people there. And the Buddha asked him, the people there are very rough. What will you do if they insult you, if they say bad words to you and treat you disrespectfully? And the monk replies, I will tell them, thank you so much that you don't hit me physically. And then he goes on, he asks him, so what if they do hit you physically? And he said, I will be so grateful that they don't beat me with sticks. And so on. Then I will be so grateful if they beat me with sticks that they don't stab me with knives. And if they stab me with knives, I will be so happy that they are kind enough not to kill me. And if they kill you, well, then the monk says, I will think of how so many of my companions are searching for an assassin. And look, here is somebody who comes to me without even searching. So then the Buddha says, okay, you can go. This monk is the perfect example of contentedness. No matter what the situation, no matter how dire his circumstance, he will find the way to be happy in it, even joyful, even grateful. But now here is the tricky point. It's not enough to just think that, actually I'm very grateful to have all the good things I have. It's not enough to sort of try to convince ourselves of this fact without really turning it upside down, this nagging or this complaining in our mind. We all can try to do this, like we all get unhappy and now we try to think, no, actually I should not be unhappy, I am very lucky to be as I am, it could be a lot worse. But really inside we are really unhappy, we're really complaining, we're really nagging all the time. So just saying the words is not enough. Now, the object of nagging is not important and can be anything. The mind always wants to become dissatisfied about something. This is the story of our lives. This is the nature of our minds. No matter what the situation, we will become unhappy about it. Either it's too hot or it's too cold. We've eaten too much, now we complain, or we don't get enough to eat, we complain. We have too much to do, we don't have enough time to meditate, we complain. We go to a place totally alone with nothing to do except meditate. Now we will nag about how we are so bored and there is nothing to do and we are going crazy. But this object is not important. The object of whatever the mind finds to be unhappy about, it will always find something. It's not important to look at the object of the nagging. Just to realize that this is the nature, the habit of this mind is to want to be unhappy, nagging, complaining about something. So just see this habit, this tendency as it arises. Don't look at the object of what it's saying is wrong, but first you have to realize that the mind does this. There's an example that the Buddha gives at one point about the six doors of the senses being like 6 hungry animals, all with different feeding grounds. It's a jackal, a snake, a crocodile, a bird, a dog, and a monkey, I think. And now it's as if somebody has got a rope tying him to each of these animals, and so they're all constantly pulling him in the direction of their different feeding grounds. So he's being continually pulled by the crocodile towards the river, by the snake towards an anthill, and so on. So the desires of our 6 senses, the desire of seeing agreeable sights, hearing agreeable sounds, sensing agreeable sensations on the body, they are like these 6 hungry animals. They pull us. They really pull us in all directions. The nagging and complaining is like this. It's pulling you. I want it to be different. I want something else. I'm not happy how I am. But now in the example given by the Buddha, what does the man do? He ties them all to a strong stake or post, and now however much they want to pull, they can't go anywhere. So of course, it doesn't take long that they just give up. And this strong post represents mindfulness, represents the ability to watch inside and the self-discipline to not allow the mind to nag, to not allow the mind to complain, to not allow the mind to roll in its desires for this or for that. So first there has to be enough awareness inside on when this is arising to see that it's arising and not become the nagging, not be the complaining. Then the discipline of refusing to accept it, refusing to follow it. And then there can be the turning it opposite, turning it into joy, turning it into gratitude for, in fact, I have so much to be grateful for. I have so much to be happy about. Even just if nothing else, I'm still able to walk. My body works. I'm able to walk. I'm able to see and hear. I'm able to practice. I have the physical health that enables me to practice. Or even if all else is going terribly badly, just to be grateful, I have heard Dhamma. I've heard the Dhamma. So many people don't get to hear this, don't get to practice this. So when the mind wants to nag, we have to turn it opposite like this. Because the mind that is complaining, nagging, unhappy, is just making yourself suffer, and it's impossible that any wisdom should arise from there. It's just kilesa, it's just bad qualities when the mind is like this. So we have to get ourselves out of it. And this starts with just really being determined to not accept it, not permit the mind to do this. Now, afterwards, that doesn't mean, be careful, it doesn't mean to think that because we have to be content and because we have to not allow the mind to nag, it doesn't mean that we cannot do something to change our situation if it is unfavorable, if there's something we can do about it. We can take steps to improve the conditions for practicing, for the sake of practicing better, for the sake of having more energy for Dhamma, for practice. But the difference is that we're not just automatically reacting on the base of emotion. We have to take a decision based on, okay, what is my aim? Okay, what are the things that are blocking me in my aim? Some of them might be the conditions outside, most of it inside. But if I can change the conditions outside to make it easier for me to work towards my aim, yes, I should do that. And how can I do that? So the nagging, complaining mind has no place here.